Hello, today I want to do a story from our Missouri Country book from the Lost Treasures of Montana series. This story is called North of Poplar. Anyway, uh, neither author, such as Thomas P. Terry or uh, Thomas Penfield, ever had this story. It actually surfaced in some obscure Montana book I was reading, and I recognized the story as a potential lost treasure story. So the basic part about this story was there was a few Native Americans that were taking gold dust and small nuggets to a trading post and trading for different items they needed. Well, one day a young brave married this young maiden, and her family then all moved in with him, which was a pretty much a tradition with the Native Americans. And his in-laws, there was the mother-in-law and her sister or cousin. They were the ones that knew where this gold was, and they had gotten the secret from the mother-in-law's father, and he had told her never to tell anyone, and so she promised to never reveal it to anyone, the secret source of this gold. And so it was supposed to be where the river made a turn and bend around a small hill. But the terrain along the Poplar River, going north from the Missouri, everywhere there's turns in that river. So anyway, she promised never to reveal the location. Uh, Her new son-in-law thought some of this gold would come in handy for when times were tough, and he kept asking and asking to where take us where the gold is. And so finally the cousin passed away, and the mother-in-law realized she was getting up in years, and that pretty soon she wouldn't be able to ever tell him or help him with this uh, secret to where to get the gold. And so she made a concession and still kept a promise to her deceased father by telling him that they would take a trip and they were to load this wagon with everything they needed. They would make camp every night, and she told her son-in-law that he could go in any direction he wanted and make camp anywhere he wants. But if at any point along the trip they were close, the mother-in-law would tell him to make camp. So that was the only time she would tell them they were close to the gold. She'd let them know, make camp. So they did their journey and their traveling, and finally one day she told them, make camp. So they made a camp, and they went, the young brave and his wife, went down into the river and the rocks, and they searched and searched and could not find the source of gold. And so they gave up. But ironically, this story, besides being in an obscure book years ago I found, I typed it into a Word document. And then when we got to doing this Lost Treasures of Montana series of books, I found that this story, actually a portion of it surfaced in I believe it was a True West from 1974, and they included it with the Neepy's Gold story for the upper Missouri country. It also surfaced in a 1920 Dillon, Montana newspaper article. And I've run into and met a few Native American people from up in that region of Montana, and I asked about this story. And I've actually met a few people that said they were Native American. They said they've heard of it, and one said that's on my uncle's land even. So anyway, this is a Native American lost treasure story for the state of Montana from our Missouri Country book. So until next time, have a good day.